Alright, so here's the ending of Suikoden. You get to see all of the stars. So you get to find out what happened to everyone. Matsu died, unfortunately. So now we have a republic instead of an empire. Of course, Gremio follows Bo. Kunto, I don't really remember him. Missing in action in the final battle. Oh no. Well, we'll find out what happens to Victor later. Begins a business, okay. Flick will also find out what happens to later. Kroots? Don't remember him. Departs to become the fastest man in the world. Isn't he already? Okay. Protecting the graves of Barbarossa from what? Okay. Taiho goes back to Kaku. He's not living with Taiho anymore, so Yamku and Taiho split up. So Tengar and Hicks are together. And Sidonia disappears. Spends the remainder of his life in his hometown. Jean we'll see again later. Retires from knighthood. I don't remember like any. Oh yeah, Grenseal and Alan were with what's his face? Our father. Placed in charge of the Republic's finances. Coach the junior what? Retires and opens a theater, opens a clinic where he saves many lives. Okay, so he's not going back to being a hermit. Which we'll find out more about later. I think Kasumi too. Dissatisfied with his work, he resumes his studies. So, we took Crowley out of the caves, only to never use him, really. Well, I guess we used him in the major battles to cast spells. Okay, so Kimberly joins Taiho. Leads a vigorous life. Can you be any more vague about that? Succeeds Leknot as seer, but it's not the last we've heard of Leknot. Find a bigger trick. And we'll find out more about Vicky again later too. Leaves home saying adventure calls. I think we see Meg again later too. I'm not sure. Quincy. Don't remember that. We'll be hearing from Apple later. Thanks a lot, Kai. Your Unite attack was very, 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 very useful. And Mace retires. Still cooking at Marie's Inn, okay. Has to design a safe for dwarves, he sets to work. Oh, Ledin, that's his name. Opens an honest inn, sure. It's Giant Woman. Training for homemaking. And thank you, Gaspar, for giving me all that money in your dice game. So Sarah's still doing the laundry. Steals Greg Minster's palace's treasure and vanishes. Good for you, Kryn. And here are the credits for Suikoden. So yeah, Suikoden 1's pretty good RPG. It's not the best in the series. I mean, they really started improving it, especially at Suikoden 2, but I like getting the 108 characters, you know? It's like you have to do a lot of searching and all that stuff. It's pretty fun to try to get all of them. And they continue that through the series. There's 108 characters in 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. And they improve the battle systems too later. They keep up with the Unite attacks and stuff like that. And they expanded the runes and everything in the later games, so like some characters who are mages can equip more than one rune. I forgot that you could only equip one rune in this game. And this is maybe the easiest game of the series. 2 is pretty tricky, 3 is pretty tricky. I haven't really played 4 or 5 yet. The graphics were alright, I guess. They're nothing really special. I mean, it's sort of like Super Nintendo graphics on the PlayStation, but this was one of the earliest games on the PlayStation, I think. One of the first RPGs on the PlayStation, maybe. Some of the translations were kind of weird in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they did this all in Japan. I don't know. There were a lot of like grammatical mistakes and all that stuff. Like they didn't even bother to translate winning in those games, like big hit. I mean, come on, who says big hit? I'm like, what's with the credits here? They're all like, the letters don't make any sense. Sometimes only some of the letters are capitalized and, you know, whatever. And this is definitely the shortest game in the series. I think 4 is kind of short, but like, from the ones I've played, like 1, 2, and 3, 2 is pretty long and 3 is really, really long. I think 5 is really long too. I am Junchan. Miyata M-I-Y-U-K-I Miyuki! Monkey Funky. Yeah, 1995. I mean, I think that's before Seiken Densetsu 3 and Terranigma and Chrono Trigger and all those games. Is that all? So anyway, one thing I forgot to do was to save my game before I went to the final boss, so after this I'm going to go do that, and then I think some of that data transfers over to Suikoden 2. So maybe I'll try that out. So we leave the castle with Gremio. And there's our ending screen with Gremio. I think if you don't recruit all 108 stars, the ending will change. Obviously, because Gremio wouldn't be alive. But anyway, that is all for Let's Play Suikoden. I will see you next time when we start Suikoden 2. See you later.